You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move it spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Watch out.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move it spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Watch out.
A chaotic scene coming out of Donald Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Hi, everybody. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Kev Ferris, 23-year-old conservative activist, making this emergency breaking news live stream for the purpose of covering all of the incoming information as we can find it together on this apparent, essentially assumed assassination attempt against the former president and current frontrunner for the 2024 presidential election. This is an unprecedented time we currently live in. As I have said multiple times on my show, Speechless, 2024 is a year of many things, that we do not know what's going to happen. And this is one that honestly, many could have predicted, but here is the thing as we discuss this and as we look to see what comes in. I want to remind everybody, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends. I say that in all my videos, but this is honestly so important that we're talking about this exact moment right here. There is so much to say. What do you expect is how I want to start this. What do you expect? When the left comes at you with inflammatory language against one of the presidential candidates constantly, pictures that come up that say he's a Nazi, he's basically Hitler. Of course, you're going to have people driven to do some of the most egregious acts against him, even attempting murder. And that's what it seems. We are just recently given breaking news that that Trump has been said to be safe by Secret Service. In fact, I actually have the Secret Service statement being pulled up for me right here. Give me one moment. As according to, here we go. Secret Service statement. This is from Bill Melugin on who's a national correspondent for Fox News. Secret Service statement. An incident occurred this evening, July 13th, at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures, and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further information will be released when available. We're going to keep following this story, and I do have some different people behind the scenes on it. I may or may not be having some different guests on. Obviously, this is a very last-minute live stream. But we are following it as much as possible. If you want to follow it with me and you don't want to miss a minute of it, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. Again, I am Kev Ferris, 23-year-old conservative activist, radio host, and more. Following this story as much as possible, scrolling through as much as I can to see what I can do. And then we can even look here as to how some of the media is already covering it. Here's why you need to make sure that you subscribe to my channel, why you're following me and Breakaway USA, is because the lamestream media will show you crap like this. This is the kind of crap the lamestream media. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. That's what they say. After he falls at rally. Need I bring up the video again? Once again, right here. Watch.
Take a look at what happened.
Excuse me, that was not a fall. By no means was that a fall. Now, we could question as to whether or not shots were fired or if these were some other type of explosives, maybe firework. I don't know. There are a lot of different options as to what it could be. We don't know a lot, but what I can tell you is that to minimize this situation, as CNN just does right here, as a fall at a rally is patently absurd. This is patently absurd. It is insane to even assume anything like that. It truly is. It truly is. Make sure you guys are following with me. I know my connection may be unstable. I don't know if I'm glitching in or out. Please let me know in the comments how the connection and everything is. Like I said, this is a very last-minute live stream. Set it up and everything within just a few seconds. Some people are claiming on Twitter right now, as we can see as it is trending, is that this may be a BB gun. Is that it looks staged. Some people claim it's staged. I don't necessarily think so. It sounded like a BB gun. Nobody in the crowd is running or panicking. I don't know if you watch, once again, the video I had, you can hear panic. You can hear that people are stunned. You can see that he has blood all around. People are actually trying to come on here and say that this is entirely staged. This is how people are reacting right now. This is staged. Oh, this is just staged. Wow. Wow, this is really the state of our nation. That people are coming out and claiming that this is staged. Look, there are a lot of things that are staged in political campaigns, such as the crowd size at a Biden rally. Honestly, a lot of different rallies. There are a lot of things in politics that are staged. An assassination attempt, it would be one of the most classless things to stage an assassination attempt. This is a absolutely insane time to be alive. And if anybody out there is like me, you were shaken up when you heard this news. We're going to try to see, was it a BB gun? This is a question. Even if it was a BB gun, BB guns can still cause significant damage. Let's see what else we got going on here. Following as much as we possibly can when it comes to this rally. You know it was a Democrat because they missed. Now we've both been shot in the face. Stormy Daniels. That's funny. No. As we know right now, it would seem as though Donald Trump is currently safe. At least that's what we are currently seeing. What I do want to take note of, though, is everything that this is how Donald Trump, even after this, fight, fight, fight. This is how Donald Trump reacts after an incredibly, obviously intense and scary moment. Fight, fight, fight. I guarantee you that image of him with the fist in the air will be plastered on t-shirts across the country right here. This image is what we will see on t-shirts, stickers, magnets, the front pages of newspapers tomorrow. That's what we will see. I guarantee it. We will absolutely see this happening. I just see, thank you very much for sending me that, Ryan. I'm also going to, I see Gentry's right there. Let me see if I can actually get Gentry on the stream. This is absolutely awful. Let me bring up, I will once again play through this right here. Just so that we can keep, if you would like to keep watching it, if you had not seen it yet, we will keep this on a loop practically. Because as we know, as we've gotten word from Secret Service, it would seem as though Donald Trump is doing okay, or at least he is safe. We do not know necessarily his current status. As to there was reports that an ambulance was seen fleeing the scene. We will do our best to keep doing as much as we can to cover everything that I'm seeing coming out of this story. I have multiple people shooting me texts and keeping me updated. If you guys see anything, please let me know. Let's keep following this as much as possible. I'm also seeing word that It's Jover is trending. Okay, it would seem as though I'm getting Gentry on. So we can have some more commentary so that I can also have somebody to fill in some of the gaps while I'm checking on new information that will be coming through. And we will thank you guys for sticking with me. I am trying my best to coordinate. Again, obviously this was not planned by any means. Okay, I see that I might be able to get Josh in the stream as well. I got other people that are letting me know that if they would like to give their perspective, I'm sending them the link right now so that they're more than welcome to join. Keep those comments coming, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking, what you're seeing. If you have anything to add, feel free to let me know. If you would like to join the stream, let me know in the comments section, and I'd be more than happy to send the link there as well. Actually, I will join the stream. Okay, I just got Gentry in here. Let me pull this up. I think I should actually be able to do camera slot. Gentry, I think everybody can hear you right now. They might not be able to see you yet, but I am bringing you in. I'm just kind of editing up the look of the screen right now. Oh, it looks like he might have left. Do not worry. Okay, Gentry, I am editing the layout right now, so everybody can hear you right now, but they cannot see you. But if you want to, I will have you up on the screen momentarily.
Perfect. Thanks for letting me hop on. I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. We're going to get a lot of different people on talk about this. Obviously, this is breaking news. An apparent assassination attempt against the current president or former president of the United States, current front runner. Here we go. This is kind of a crappy layout, but we're going to have more people I know joining as well. So I'll keep editing it.
Yeah.
But now everybody can see you. Feel free to add any destinations or anything so that we can get as many people seeing this as possible. I'm trying to keep an eye on all of the different news that's coming in. As of right now, it would seem as though the Secret Service has updated and said that that President Trump is safe. What that really means, I don't know, because just because he is currently safe does not necessarily mean that in health he's good and in the clear. So I was just actually, prior to going live, when I was setting up all the stream stuff, I was listening to Britt Hume on Fox News discuss the idea that Ronald Reagan, during his assassination attempt, had actually they claimed like he's safe and everything, but it was much worse than the media initially let on. I also noticed one thing I wanted to bring up because I was actually tagged in it and I saw it on your Twitter. Is this right on screen here? You bring up, and I had just talked about a CNN headline as well. A CNN headline had said that he had fallen on stage, and that's why the Secret Service had to rush him off. Obviously, you seem to have such a strong reaction to the Associated Press here, noticeably and understandably so. Tell us a little bit about what you're thinking when you see this kind of a headline in comparison to what we actually saw on that stage.
Well, so I love these kind of breaking stories because everybody gets like all the attention to like a particular topic. I'm sending you some other examples that I posted on my Instagram, but the left is like eating this up, okay, in two ways. Number one, CNN and the Associated Press and MSNBC, they're all reporting just nonsense garbage. They're making it seem like it's not that big of a deal. They might even be trying to cover up the fact that there wasn't even an assassination attempt. And because they have such a strong hold on people, and like people didn't even realize that Biden had dementia until the mainstream media told them that they had. And so people are still kind of under this spell. And I hate reporting like this because it's blatantly false. It is the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. I sent you some things on Instagram if you want to pull that up. But I can read it to you.
Yeah, I can pull up my Instagram here.
CNN says that the Secret Service interrupted Trump during a speech. And then I also saw that they said that Trump fell down during a speech. And then there's another one. It's a comment from somebody, and it said, "Too bad they missed."
I saw a lot of those. Yes, I saw a lot of those.
Reddit Lies is one of my favorite accounts on Twitter. He's basically the guy who exposes all the wokeness on Twitter. But they're already talking about like they're making jokes about it. They're saying like, oh, like wish he would have died, all this kind of stuff. It is absolutely insane what I'm mind boggled by the fact that people are this stupid. Like it's not okay. Here's my sweatshirt, by the way. I stand with 45.
Heck yeah.
It is not okay that we even that we're even having this conversation at all. It's not okay.
Yeah.
I hate it.
No, I wonder. I'm even wondering right now when the last assassination attempt on a president was.
I'm pretty sure it was Reagan. It was 1982. Let's get fact checked on that.
On a U.S. president.
Let me tweet out this stream too, so we can.
I feel like there might have been one on Bush, maybe.
The one on Bush was a shoe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know that one point during Reagan's presidency, I actually think we have Ryan Mack here as well. Let's do this. Can I add a third one here? No, I'm going to do I just invited a bunch of different people since this was a last-minute live stream, and so anybody who wants to come in and give their 2 cents, will
Yeah.
do.
So the last assassination attempt was March 30th, 1981. Ronald Reagan returned to his limousine after speaking at the Washington Hilton Hotel. And John Hinckley Jr. fired 6 shots toward him, striking him and 3 others. He was injured. He went off to the hospital. He was close to death, and he was nursed back to health after a little bit. And then Wikipedia actually just updated this. On Saturday, July 13th, during a rally in Pennsylvania, former Donald Trump suffered what appeared to be a wound on his right ear after what seems to be gunshots were heard. So, like, obviously there were gunshots. I know Wikipedia is trying to play it safe, but I'm actually impressed that they, are reporting on this. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ryan, from the Ryan Mack Show, what are you thinking?
Well, I was watching something else and I happened to look on Twitter and see it, and I pulled up your live stream and Modern Renaissance Man as I was playing it. He was Ty was playing it over and over again, and I was trying to figure out what was happening leading up to that point. So I had to watch it several times. I think there was about a 3-second response between, if you slow motion it from the actual ear grab to the agent on the ground. I don't know how delayed that could be in real time, but that was kind of a slow response, personally. But Ty played it, slowed it down, and heard the Secret Service agent yell, "Shooter is down," and then it's clear to move. So it sounds like they were able to get the shooter incapacitated very quickly.
That's what I heard. Whether or not it was even a
Yeah.
shooter, like I heard that's the thing, is we really don't know even
Yeah.
exactly what happened as of right now. I'm keeping an eye. One person believed to be dead after shooting at Trump rally. This is from Breaking 911 on Twitter.
no, that's horrible.
According to this one right here, Breaking 911, one person believed to be dead after shooting at Trump rally.
Hopefully the shooter.
So there are reports that said that Secret Service said shooter down.
Yes, I heard that. So actually in the video that I played earlier,
Yeah.
I can play, because this is the one I actually pulled this one up right here because I actually have to take it off screen.
Yeah, Colin Rugg reported 55 minutes ago that shooter down could be heard after the Secret Service came to Trump's protection.
As they were on top of him. Yeah.
Take a look and listen to this right here, right around.
Are you ready? On you. Ready? Move. Up. Move. Go.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
You ready?
You hear that?
Are we good?
Shooter down.
Shooter down.
Shooters down.
Shooters down.
Good to move.
And then I even just got this video sent to me. Let me find it. I have a bunch of tabs open right now. Can you guys see that right here? This is, what does it say it is? Video footage of an individual being dragged out from Trump's rally in PA. Here's this.
To me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, "Let me grab my shoes," as they tried to take him off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
You can, if
What's
you
going
watch
on?
right
Was he
around
shot?
here, you'll
Was he
see
wounded?
somebody.
Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, "Let me grab my shoes," as they tried to take him off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
Wow, that's incredible.
To me,
Hmm.
as you're
Is
trying
that
to
confirmed to be the
say
shooter?
what's going on, was he
It's not
shot?
confirmed. I have no idea who it is.
It's just
But
looks
it's
like
somebody
somebody was
being
being
dragged
dragged.
out, and they
Yeah.
look incapacitated. Let's get this. I'm seeing other pictures starting to flow in.
Hey, what's going on?
Such as this one right here. These are coming in from Getty Images now. Can you guys see them? Nope. Wrong button. Here we go. Stop sharing. Share this tab instead. Okay. You guys see these?
Yeah. Wow.
Holy cow.
So the reports are that he was shot in the side of the head. It could have grazed him, but everyone's speculating that it was his ear. But reports are saying that it either
It looked above
shot
his
in the
ear a
head
little
or
bit.
graze his head. So
Yeah. Well, it just demonstrates how close the shooter was at that point to get even a graze shot in, and why nobody behind him was even remotely close to being shot either.
Yeah, absolutely.
this is 1,000% the left's fault. This
Yeah.
is 1,000% Joe Biden's fault. He was calling people MAGA extremists. He tried to
Yeah.
designate us as terrorists, and
Didn't he just say he's got a bullseye on his head too recently?
Yeah, I actually have that tweet. Give me one moment. You guys keep talking, but I do have that
Yeah.
tweet.
Oh,
But
there's
he
no
has
doubt. Yeah.
twisted his followers, twisted the left into this frenzy of that we are somehow the terrorists, and it's all Joe Biden's fault. It's all the left's fault. It's the leftist propaganda machine. It's the media. Everyone's complicit. I think that's why CNN, all this kind of
Said he
stuff.
fell.
It's just absolutely insanity. Like there's a reason why they're trying to downplay this, is because actually there could be some consequences to what we've been saying, calling them terrorists, all this kind of stuff. Joe Biden had a freaking campaign ad where it talked about MAGA extremists and January 6 people, like earlier in January, and he caused this whole freaking thing to blow up.
Well, you see, lefty Twitter also just went nuts and said, "Oh, we don't call for violence. We want to beat them at the ballot box." No, you're all full of crap. You've called for violence several times.
Well, and that's the thing is you look at all of this, and that's what I was saying at the very beginning of the stream. What I came out and said is just within like the last week, there was a magazine. I think it was a magazine. I could probably find it. There's a picture that I saw. And I think it was a magazine cover where they put like a Hitler stash on Trump. And they constantly play it. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler. Trump is Hitler. Now, not to like take away any blame from whoever caused whatever this actually is.
Yeah.
But what would you do if you firmly believe that one of the political candidates was actually the reincarnation of Hitler? If you had actually had that dug so deep into your brain that you believed it, I mean, wouldn't you expect them to maybe take some kind of drastic action such as this? If you actually believed it, you've been brainwashed that much to believe that? It's constantly a question. If you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, would you? Like, that's like something that we ask.
But they think like that. They think that Trump's Hitler.
This is their brain. Yeah.
Hang on. So I have an update from Team Trump on True Social.
Okay.
Stephen Chung is speaking on behalf of it, but President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. He is fine and is being checked out at a local medical facility. More details to follow.
I'm also getting along with that as well. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger tells me Trump was grazed by gunfire, but is safe. An audience member was killed, and the shooter is dead. We will continue to try to put the pieces of this together. It looks like we have Josh in here as well. Josh is a history teacher from Nevada. Josh, you said you wanted to add a historical perspective.
Yeah, I mean, look, we keep talking about how historic Trump's presidency is. He now gets to be another president who had an assassination attempt on him. This is huge. This is not something that happens every day. I mean, we look at history, and I think the last president that was shot was Ronald Reagan. And, I think it's interesting with me because I have so many students who ask me, could a president be shot? Could a presidential candidate be shot? And I go, probably not, with how safe it is. I was just proven wrong. And I think, as I'm talking to my family and everything, my mom goes, if the former president can be shot and the top candidate can be shot, who's safe in this country? I mean, I think that's really what this comes down to, is who is safe in this country.
What's also interesting to me is just recently Biden has also radically increased the amount that he's been talking about gun control, I don't know if you guys saw within the last week. I mean, at the big boy press conference that he had, he brought up the idea that Republicans would like to, he was like, they'd rather protect fetuses than guns.
Control guns, not girls.
Yeah, some crap like that. And he's been talking a lot more about gun control.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will bring this and use this incident instead of actually
Oh,
talking about
absolutely.
political violence and the rhetoric used against Donald Trump and conservatives. I wonder if they'll instead use this as a posturing point to say, well, maybe you shouldn't support guns, then you won't get shot.
Mm-hmm.
What
yeah,
about
my
RFK?
sister was saying. Sorry, I was saying my sister
you're
was
good.
saying she's already seeing a ton about. Well, if gun control exists, so this wouldn't happen, and it's like, it's like that's not how this works. Also, we point out a guy with a gun just killed that shooter, like just saved so many more people.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing is so criminals don't follow the freaking rules, you
Oh, I
guys.
know,
Right.
that lights me up. Like if we just had no guns, nobody would be shot ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Find
absolutely
a
insane.
car. There have been parades where cars have been run over mass amount of people. They will find some way to kill you without a gun and cause mass casualties.
I wonder, and obviously there's still more to figure out when it comes to this story, but many on the right are saying that this has solidified the win for Donald Trump, that Donald Trump, if he wasn't winning after the disastrous few weeks that the Biden campaign has had, then he must now be winning because of this incident. What do you guys think?
I mean, the left, everything the left does makes him way more popular. They impeach him, he gets more popular. They try to sue him, he gets more popular. They try to throw him in jail, he gets more popular. If they throw felonies at him, he gets more popular. Now with this assassination attempt, I mean, he's becoming like a part of it. Like he's going to go down as one of the most iconic presidents in history, if not the greatest president in history. And there's absolutely no way that anyone on the left can win, regardless if Biden stays in or not. There's no one on the left that can win after this.
No. What does this do for his hearing coming up in September?
I really don't know.
Is this throw a plot twist?
Well, that's the other thing I was even thinking about. Just 2 days ago was supposed to be the day that Donald Trump was sentenced.
Yeah.
Is that I think that's interesting. I don't know if I
Yeah.
cannot say for sure. And honestly, if I had to lean one way or the other, I'd say this doesn't have anything to do with that specifically, but I just find it an interesting coincidence. I do want to bring this up and we can watch this real quick. President Trump's motorcade. This is them speeding away after the shooting incident. President Trump says he's, quote, fine. According to the Associated Press, the destination is unknown. Take a look and a listen right here. I want to say this only as a point of intensity of the situation. Is I've never seen the motorcade look that disorganized before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fascinating to me.
Apparently, the shooter has been identified as Mark Violets, an Antifa member.
Oh, shocker.
There we go.
Let me see what we can find on that. That's an interesting.
And also, I want to point out too, like, because I know a couple people being like, you know, like I said, there's people like who are supporting right now, or like, or there's people on Twitter being like, "Oh, you had one job. How did you miss?" If Biden was shot right now, I'd be praying for him just as much, and being like, I hope he recovers, because that is absurd. That former president, whoever it is, that you would try to shoot your political rival like that.
Mm-hmm.
If Biden was shot right now, I'd be like, I'm praying for him, and I hope he pulls through, and I'd be here talking about it with you in the same way, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. I am seeing that report that Mark Violets is the individual. I'm even seeing some videos of him. If we go, these are all just based on the short things that I'm seeing off of X and Twitter.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it. Breaking per the Butler Police Department, the Trump shooter has been arrested at the scene and has been identified as Mark Violets, an Antifa member. Prior to the shooting, Mark Violets uploaded a video on YouTube claiming, quote, justice is coming. What a crap excuse of a human being. Let's see if we can find I saw some people had already been posting clips of these videos, parts of it. This man does look to be overweight, and honestly just looks like a kind of crappy human being. Let's see what we can maybe.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I'm watching some short little. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, if you got it pulled up, those are.
None of these are videos. These are all pictures. Maybe if I just go to media.
There's a short clip of him, like an hour said before the shooting, of him making finger guns.
This. That.
What
Yeah.
a nerd. What an absolute.
Adesso basta. Lo dico chiaramente una volta per tutte. Adesso.
So
Interesting.
he's speaking in tongues because he's tired of Trump.
Or it's Spanish.
What was that?
Oh my gosh.
Interesting. Let's
Always in black.
Interesting. This is fascinating to watch. As I'm seeing, Antifa is also now trending.
You know, I'm pretty tired of Biden, but I don't think I would go off and shoot him. Just a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just how I operate.
I mean, I don't want anybody to die. I don't think Trump wants anyone to die either. He even said that when he was talking about Russia and Ukraine. He's like, I want people to stop dying.
Or death. Yeah. Needs to stop.
Right.
Well, what does this do for RFK Jr., who has no Secret Service protection?
That's been something
I
I've
know
talked
some people
about.
say he's not a viable candidate and all this, but he is. I mean, as an independent running in the race, he absolutely is at this point. Why does he not have any detail at this point? And what does this mean for him?
Here's the thing though, is that he is a viable candidate, but he's not going to win. He's not a threat to the Democratic machine. So he's almost a non-issue.
Does he endorse Trump and make himself a threat?
He did post his tweet right after. It said, "Now is the time for every American who loves our country to step back from the division, renounce all violence, and unite in prayer for President Trump and his family."
Joe Biden?
RFK.
Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. I'm expecting too much from Joe Biden.
His staff.
Interesting, though. This is a clip from MSNBC as it was happening or soon after, in which a columnist denounces campaign season's aggressive, intense, violent rhetoric. And then Howard Dean bemoans violent feelings. Let's just take and then claims that this is a stunt. Let's just take a look and listen to this.
How we have heard such violent rhetoric on the campaign trail. The campaign itself has been very intense. The language has been very aggressive. Lots of people, Republicans and Democrats, expressing a lot of concern about the tenor and tone of this presidential election. How concerned should we be that what we have just seen in Butler, Pennsylvania is something that we're going to have to look out for with increasing frequency?
Well, I mean, I think as the temperature continues to boil, as we get closer and closer to this election, which is an incredibly divisive election, there's going to be more violent feelings. Whether there be more actual violence is hard to say. This is a very difficult stunt to pull off. We don't, of course, know what was pulled off. I'm assuming it was some sort of gunshot that actually missed, which would have been an attempt to kill the president. I have no idea. But the Secret Service is incredibly good at this. Because I was a front runner for a very brief time, I actually had some Secret Service people working for me. They're really good at their job, really good. So, it's impossible to know what's happened here. But I suspect the Secret Service will figure it out pretty quickly. And I'm a little surprised that they didn't, if there is a gunman, which it looked like there probably was somewhere, that they didn't pounce on somebody. But we don't know. I don't know I've actually been to Butler. I was campaigning for Obama and Butler in 2008. It's pretty conservative territory. I stood out in front of a UAW factory to meet the shifts as they came out and then went back in. And the only question they asked me is, Obama going to take our guns? So it's conservative territory, working class territory.
Interesting. Not as.
Why are we listening to the Dean Scream guy? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very interesting. I'm just constantly trying to see what the media is coming out with, especially as we even saw those
There's a
those different
comment down
headlines
below.
those headlines that we would see. What are these? Dan Bongino's chat is reporting the shooter is dead, as well as one member of Trump's team. No confirmations yet. But we saw constant headlines, and we also see things like this, which Gentry had sent me. And we've seen plenty of things like this, things like too bad they missed. There's clear hatred for Donald Trump, and I think that that what seems to have been attempted on him tonight is something that sadly many Americans would like to see happen. What does that say about the state of our country? To you guys, the state of our country, that there are so many Americans that would wish to see a leading presidential candidate, somebody who is supported by 49 to 51% of the country, if not more, one way or the other, that so many would like to see him dead.
I honestly can't say I'm surprised that it hadn't happened until this late in the game, because of the rhetoric against him, because of everything that's been thrown on. The divisiveness in this country is unreal. And when you have a polarized division like this, there's going to be some form of major, not October surprise, but we got it in July. Christmas in July came early. But if this is what it's going to be going forward, we're all in serious trouble. I mean, we can't go back from this.
You know, I'm going to disagree with you, because we can go back from this. In fact, we've been more divided at one point in our country. That was during the Civil War. We did come back from that.
To be clear, that is something that's currently trending. Some people are calling for civil war. That was my next question. If we want
but people call for that every time Biden says Trump's evil, like civil war. I mean, who cares about people on Twitter? Twitter's not real life. In real life, people don't want that. And we can come back from this. We can. You say people don't want that, but somebody's obviously willing to take some level of whatever they perceive the threat to be into their own hands by seeming to make a threat against Donald Trump's life. There's always going to be lone wolf crazy people. There's no denying that.
I don't think he's alone. Like this instance, like I think that obviously or at least I don't even know. I can't say that he acted alone in this instance. I don't know. Right. But I don't think he's alone in his thought process. I think there's a lot of other people. I mean, we see things that are people that say too bad he missed.
Yeah.
People that if the consequences weren't there, obviously would take some very drastic measure.
Well, when you have a lawlessness party that thinks that criminals are just human too, this is what you get. There's no repercussions for people's actions, and people get bold like this at a rally. This is what happens.
Yeah, I don't know if bold is necessarily the most right word I would use. A certain level of something.
He got dead though, so I guess that's important.
Yeah, I do want to point out. So I want to bring up this clip, which was sent to me. This is a CNN clip in which it seems to claim that Donald Trump and his supporters just see themselves as people under threat, and that this is not legitimate or something like that. Take a look and listen. This is an actual CNN clip from moments ago.
Donald Trump and the people around him perceive themselves to be under threat. And that's all that matters. That is not legitimate. That is wrong. You hear the screams from the audience. People are terrified. And that is the kind of atmospheres that we are going to be living with. And I don't have a good answer about how we bring it back right now.
So according to CNN, or at least this individual on CNN, which is Juliette Kayyem on CNN, we just see ourselves as under threat. Donald Trump and the people around him just perceive themselves as under threat. It's not an actual threat, as they're literally playing footage of the man dropping from an assassination attempt.
So here's the dichotomy here, though, is that when there's a different kind of shooting, it's so bad and everyone should be so scared, and they offer counseling and they give people days off work or off school and all that stuff, but when it's for the right and it's at a Trump rally, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's just like the dichotomy of that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, an incident. That's what it was called.
Yeah, the incident, right?
security snafu. He fell, tripped over his shoelace.
Secret Service interrupted him, and it's like, what are we doing here? Why are we just lying out of our asses on this thing? Like,
and it was funny because when this was when our friend texted us this, I mean, Kevin and me were in the same chat, and we're like, what are you talking about? I watched the video, and I was like, it looked like he just ducked down. It wasn't, and then like I watched a little more of it, and I was like, "Oh no, he's bleeding!" Like,
you had to slow it down to see what actually.
Right, like, oh no, because I saw him grab his ear. I thought maybe he was grabbing like an earpiece or something. Like
that's what I thought. Maybe they scraped it.
Right, like he was trying to hear them yell, "Get down!"
Yeah,
but and then I was I mean, this is.
Oh, here's another one. Here's another CNN one. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally.
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah.
I was talking about that one a little bit earlier in the stream.
Oh my gosh.
They
mostly peaceful rally.
There's a BBC interview that was recently released. I just got a text about this one. It is a little bit longer, and we can cut it if it ends up being nothing. But a BBC interview with a guy outside the security perimeter who claims he saw the shooter before the shooter fired. Let's take a look and listen to this.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, "Oh, what?" Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, "Hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling." And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But
Hey, Kevin, why don't you pull up the
these roofs here?
crypto markets?
I mean, this is not a big place.
I will. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, obviously, everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was.
This is great.
Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching. But you saw that happen? Yep. And
Nope,
did you see
saw
them go to him after?
Saw it.
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
Was that who they were dragging out of the scene earlier? Off the rooftop? Was a rooftop like Wrigley Field rooftop view of the rally?
So Brad Parscale, Trump's campaign manager from 2016, he posted a little bit ago. He said, "I'm going to pose a question that's on everyone's mind. I've helped run over 500 of these rallies, and security was always top notch. So how did a gun get into the rally or even close enough? Could this be a deep state conspiracy? Houston, we have a problem."
Yeah,
and he's not nobody. He was Trump's campaign manager. He was Trump's marketing manager back in the day. Like, this guy knows organization. And if he's posing that question, I mean, we really do need to look into this. Like, it's not just a lone shooter, a lone crazed guy. It was all coordinated and planned, and they picked this, poor.
Possibly. I mean, that's. Hey, I want to keep hearing a little bit. I want to hear a little bit more about what this guy has to say, because it seemed like he was. I mean, he really seemed to have seen something.
There's a lot of details from what he's describing.
But I do think that it's interesting. I mean, hey, we do know essentially that the CIA had something to do with JFK's assassination. So
yes,
who knows? Who knows who could have been at play in this?
Trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security permit. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not at every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
And that's exactly.
Yes.
That's almost exactly what you just said, Gentry. I do want to pull this up too, because somebody just commented. One of these liberals found my Twitter live stream, and we can see right here. I want somebody to go screenshot it, but this is the live stream right here. We're live streaming my live stream, but to show you that somebody said this on
wow.
Too bad the shooter was a poor shooter, according to somebody on Twitter that is literally named Defeat Trump 2024. Somebody go screenshot it and get them, because and post.
I'm actually not seeing that on Twitter.
Really? Is it not showing up on yours? I'll go see if I can find. Are you looking at Breakaway or are you looking at mine?
I'm looking at yours.
I'm still seeing it on mine, so I don't know. Maybe the Twitter algorithm is trying to stop it. I will go post it on my Twitter right now because I just got it and I screenshotted it. I want to make sure somebody got it though while I was managing everything.
Yeah, I don't see any comments either. It's weird.
So go to Gavin Wax's profile on Twitter here.
Gavin Wax.
Yeah. So he posted a video. I just reposted it on Instagram, but this one.
You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó.
Interesting.
You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy looks dead.
Oh my gosh.
Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him.
Interesting.
Huh.
Elon Musk came out and endorsed Trump after this too. That is really big. So number one, he donated however many millions of dollars to one of his PACs, and then number two, he fully endorsed Trump.
I saw that now. Take a look at this picture right here. This is blood in the bleachers.
Now, is that behind where Trump was?
It looks as if, yes.
That must be where that person got killed.
If you think about the way that it usually stands, is that would make sense that it would be behind.
Yeah.
But absolutely insane. I honestly cannot believe it. But that is some blood behind the bleachers. I saw the Elon Musk thing, going through all the different tweets. I also saw Dave Portnoy post this, or this was sent to me by a good friend, Andy. Thank you, Andy, for all your help through all of this and keeping me updated. And I think this is just a very important point right here. How has the president of the United States not said a word in over an hour when a former president and current Republican nominee just survived an assassination attempt? Where is Joe Biden?
Yeah. Is it 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I mean, my friend Jeremy called me and I said, you know what? I said, you want to know what good optics look like? If he was to come out and say, look, this is terrible. In fact, I'm going to go to the hospital and go meet with Trump right now. We're going to have a conversation and we're uniting. I'm like, is he going to do that? No. But wouldn't that be great optics on him to be like, look, I'm sitting with him and we don't like each other at all. But what just happened was unacceptable. So I'm willing to stand here with him. Like
here's a different. I love that perspective, by the way. Here's a different one. The social media manager, all of the drafts that she had was for condolences because they were prepared.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Like let's go look at Joe Biden's drafts right now and see what he has prepared.
Oh my god! And it is a she. I saw somebody come out and like kind of splayed her.
Yeah, it was Laura Loomer exposed it, and yeah, which is good. Like,
I think that's the biggest problem.
Laura Loomer is also losing her freaking mind right now. she's going insane.
What?
She loses her mind whenever she's got a good story.
I was the first one on the scene reporting it. Laura Loomer live. Trump just shot in the head.
That's not wrong. He did get shot in the head.
But no details.
How badass is that? Trump got shot in the head. Like
we think. I mean, we still don't totally know. We think.
Yeah.
So much that we're operating off of right now. Like, and that's why maybe it's just because this is like on my show with all the speechless and my name at the bottom. But I am like, everything that we say, I want to put an asterisk that says allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Shot somewhere in the face hole.
Allegedly.
For legal reasons, we don't know what's going on. But I think I do want to know, and like this is a question that we ask like once we know he's okay and everything like that. But I want to know, when he was saying, like, let me get my shoes, what was he doing with his shoes? Why were his shoes off? What was going on with his shoes?
Genuinely, is they tackled him so hard his shoes came off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, like, okay, but like in that moment when you just got shot, is your first thought like, I need to make sure I get my shoes?
Those are his golden sneakers. He's got to save those.
They're probably one of one right now.
As our friend Mitch said, he wanted to put his shoes on. He was going to go fight the shooter himself, but he needed his shoes on first.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
This
was on a T-shirt for sure.
Thing, you guys.
Oh yeah. The Shane Gillis clip of talking about Trump being shot is
the way I was shot in the head. It was great.
Just like sit
I was
down,
tackled like a beast.
Wait. Can we pull that up and watch that?
Throw back to Shane Gillis's Trump joke about, here we go. I got this.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying about if you had what I said was true. If you had to rank them from least funny to funniest assassination, easy number one. For real. He'd be talking shit like when it happened. He'd be doing like a rally. He'd be like, my opponent's gay. I walked in, I saw him. I said, wow, this guy's gay. The shooter would be coming out and be like, sit down. You're gay. Get hit. He'd definitely make a funny noise into the, like he'd get hit, like, and fall. But back to
okay, that was funny. I forgot about that joke.
Yo, man.
I just sent you what Obama just tweeted.
Where did you send it?
Obama said something.
I texted it to you.
Andy sent it to us too.
If Obama's people can get it out, then Trump's people should be able to get it out. I'm sorry, Joe Biden's. Yeah. There's absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Although we don't know yet exactly what happened, we should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery. That's the politically correct thing to say. Like that's exactly what you're supposed to say.
Why aren't you praying, Barack? That's good.
Dude, Johnny MAGA, by the way, is a great follow.
I do.
Yeah.
I think I do follow him. Yeah, I'm following him. Let's see what he's been saying. They killed President Trump's supporters today. Etch his name into the history books. This definitely. I know Josh sent this and said this will be the picture, and everybody's posting it. That is.
It's already my profile picture on Facebook.
It'll be the
I've
front.
seen a ton of people doing it. Yeah.
the front page of papers tomorrow. Honestly, I'm going to buy a paper and I'm framing it with that
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like it is. Whew. Honestly, I was really shaking when I got that text because I was driving and I got that text and I was on my way home and I was 2 minutes away from home. I was really close and I saw that on my phone come across. I was not texting while driving, but like I could see my phone just for the police
hanging
out
out.
there for legal reasons. That's what I'll say.
Allegedly texting and driving.
and I saw that and I was like, oh my God. Like I was like, this is insane. I was given information that Josh, your sister may or may not have had a statement.
Oh yeah, I can read that because
Regarding
our
this?
family's talking about this, and my sister put it very nicely. She just said, "Keep in mind, she's 21. She's very young. She's a big Trump supporter, big Trump person."
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say she was a liberal.
No, she's not.
I've had her on my show actually.
Listen, I trained her right. Okay. She said, "So no matter what side you're on, it's messed up. He was our president at one point and should be respected. Many people hate Biden as much as they hate Trump, but at least Republicans have respect for the fact he is our president. To me, it's disrespectful to our country. If anyone tries to justify it, they're the problem."
I agree. I think that's honestly probably the thought on a lot of people's minds. Like that's kind of how a lot of people are thinking about this. I also see Fabian is in there. Fabian, are you there? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
There he is.
There we go, buddy. I think you're there now.
You're always busy, Fabian. You're always on the phone.
Always doing something.
Are you
guys,
Sweden?
can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, sorry. How's everyone doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing our best. I'm trying to. I'm gonna fix this this layout so that we can fit 5 people on here and also kind of have like a screen and stuff. I think I might take off. Everybody, go make sure you follow me and stuff. But I'm gonna take off my lower third.
Fabian, were you working out and in reverence to Simmons dying?
Yeah, I was out hiking actually, and then all of a sudden everyone's looking down on their phone at the same time, and that's when I saw it, and I was like, okay, I remember 9/11. There's certain things that happen in life where you remember the exact place that you were.
Yeah,
this is going to be one of those times.
Yeah,
this is going to be one of those times. You'll never forget where you were when this happened.
Everybody here, right, remembers that except for probably Kev and Josh.
Yeah, Kev.
You babies.
Make fun of me because I'm gonna die later than you, asshole.
To be
Go
fair,
fuck yourself.
Allegedly, he's gonna die before.
Kevin, what year were you born?
1 years old when 9/11 happened, so I don't.
Josh and I were both born in the year 2000.
So you were literally still like an infant.
Yeah. I was the 8th grade.
I was like 9 months old. Just about a 9
wouldn't
months
even
old.
have considered you a human being at that point, dude.
Yeah, you were just a fetus.
President Biden has officially released a statement, everybody. I'm pulling it up on screen.
You mean his team did, his staff did.
The 20-year-old leftist who writes for him.
We're getting it up here. I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally. As we await further information, Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. Now, one thing I want to do before I get your guys' reactions on that is I want to pull up this one, which we had just read, but I want to compare that to this. There's absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Same thing right here. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. Just basically almost verbatim, the exact same thing. And then he also, this is Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery. Same thing here. Jill and I are grateful for the Secret Service for getting him to safety. Look, all I'm saying, man, is what if Obama's people were the same people that wrote Biden's?
I don't know. They would have had Michael in there instead of Michelle if it was somebody else. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's too close.
Have you guys already gone over? I just saw it on Benny Johnson's page where apparently they found someone dead on top of the. Okay.
Yeah, and also I just saw CNN a minute ago said they did confirm, or 2 minutes ago, that the shooter was killed by Secret Service. An attendee was also killed, and it said shooting at a Trump rally is being investigated as an assassination attempt.
Well, and that's what, and then, like we said, like 20 minutes ago, this is what was just sent to us. This is Matt Walsh's post where he says a roof with direct sightline to the stage was not secured by Secret Service. Our choices are either unbelievable negligence or something much worse. Look, we know that the last time that a United States president was successfully, and I hate saying that word because of the positive connotation, but successfully assassinated was John F. Kennedy, which we also know, based on the released files, that the CIA had something to do with it. That is not even conspiracy at this point. It's essentially fact. The CIA killed John F. Kennedy. Is it? Which means that it is not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, it is a reasonable question and reasonable thing to discuss the idea that our government had something to do with the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump.
Drano just posted something really interesting.
I can go pull it up.
Yeah. It's kind of like in line with what you're saying, but apparently there's secret instructions to the media to play down this whole thing.
Yeah.
Scoop, secret instructions given to news reporters telling them to play down Trump's. We don't necessarily have a source for this as much as we could see. Hello, reminder to stick to the facts. Don't speculate, editorialize, sensationalize, or jump to conclusions. Don't call it assassination attempt unless authorities say it is. Don't say a shooting targeting Trump or the rally unless authorities confirm that connection. Clarify if it's actually gunshots. It's unclear at the moment if authorities don't know. Anchor's reminder to be mindful of body language when presenting the story. No need for a serious face or adding comments and adjectives for color. No need to say scary moments today at a Trump rally. Just get the story. How is it not a scary moment? I mean, when you have people, you have people with blood curdling screams in the background and blood at the scene. How is that not like that is objectively scary? That is a scary moment.
Yeah, it should be.
Gentry and I were just over at the Turning Point convention, 2-3 weeks ago when Trump was at. And I can tell you that the day that the Secret Service was there, which was a Saturday, because that's when Trump was speaking, that place completely changed from one day to the next. They had an astronomical amount of just Secret Service guards there. They had
private security and local cops and like the whole gambit.
There was a like a security, something happened and they cleared every single person out of the convention and they made them recheck in all over again because I guess they had some kind of security breach there. And seeing firsthand how thorough it is when you have President Trump there in the Secret Service, it's just obviously this is a much larger open air compared to a convention center, many buildings around, but how something like this could happen.
Yeah. A nearby building. How do they not lock those down? That if there's within range of a shooting, right on top of him, how do you not lock that down in weeks, months in advance? That's what their job is.
And it's not like this guy just went up there and did a quick, if you're that far away, that takes time. You're laying there, you're visible. I mean, it's ridiculous.
According to the Biden campaign, this is from Matt Visser, the Biden campaign is pausing all outbound communications and working to pull down our television ads as quickly as possible. So it seems as though they're trying to because of the apparent assassination attempt, they don't want anything negative against Trump coming out of the Biden campaign because it looks classless.
Oh, okay.
This is a very, I'll say important, but it's a very deterministic time for the Democratic Party. The way that they play these next few days, the next few weeks, it's really going to determine their future. We know they're not going to win. If they get killed in a landslide in the vote, you're going to have the centrist Democrats, the just traditional liberals, basically go to war with these leftists and say, "Hey, look what you guys did to us. You guys need to get out of here." And then there's going to be obviously an internal war within them, and I think it's going to get very ugly. But for the wider Democratic Party right now, this is a very, if you're in PR, optics, this is a very tenuous time. Everything you say is going to be looked at under a microscope. And with the way things have been going, I don't know how that's going to pan out or play out.
You're absolutely right. There are currently rumors that that Joe Biden will be going live at some point on camera.
Wait.
By tonight. No time has been given yet. I will be given some level of, I do have somebody on it for me who will be sending it to me, I believe. There's also, this is currently going viral, a clip from Tucker Carlson about 6 months ago in which he said this, and people are claiming at the time he was ridiculed for it. Let's take a look and a listen.
No audio, Kev.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes it goes out on me. Give me one moment. Stop sharing, and then I'm going to reshare it. Share screen. Share. Thank you for letting me know. I don't always see it.
Kev, I'm sending you something right now. This is some guy covered in blood at the event.
Okay, I'll pull that up. We'll play this, and then while this is playing, I'll pull that up.
They called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have it.
Absolutely right. And then we can even pull up here, and I found that clip that you sent me on Twitter so I can bring it full screen from Jake Rosen, who is on the scene. This is an emergency room doctor that he spoke with, tried to save someone's life in the crowd. Here's this.
Honor, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm in an emergency department position. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. So I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
need to evacuate everybody. Honor, that's exact.
Interesting how we even hear the evacuation story that's kind of going on, the subplot that we're noticing behind it all.
Kev, I sent you a statement from Nancy
I
Pelosi.
saw that. I'm getting a lot of statements to my texts right now. I got that one, and I can pull up. This is from Nancy Pelosi, which a lot of people are starting to talk about her as her husband was a victim of some level of what is claimed to be political violence. Obviously, a lot of controversy surrounding that story in here. Josh, would you like to take it while I field some other info?
Yeah. So, I mean, I actually do like her statement. She said, as one whose family has been the victim of political violence, I know firsthand that political violence of any kind has no place in our society. I thank God that former President Trump is safe. As we learn more details about this horrifying incident, let us pray that all those in attendance at the former president's rally today are unharmed. So, I mean, I think that's a very politically, that's the right move. Hey, I'm glad he's okay. And this is wrong.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of those. I just got Ryan just tagged me. Ryan just tagged me in one regarding Letitia James saying something very similar. I also do want to pull this up, and I'm going to try to keep an eye on where the live stream might be happening. But Fox has told President Biden will deliver an on-camera statement shortly. Very interested to see exactly what he will say, especially as this is such a breaking story. How he will be able to handle. I mean, we saw the other day when he had allegedly scripted questions from not alleged, a confirmed list of questioners at the Big Boy press conference, seeing how he actually deals with an instance of having to react in real time, or at least at a quicker pace than he has had to in most recent events that he's had to do. Most of the time he's able to be heavily scripted. Even I just heard that he had a meeting with Progressive Caucus members recently, like today, in which one of his staffers slid him a note that said, please calm down, or you're coming off as too aggressive. And he read it out loud while on the call with the progressive staff members. So we'll see how he's able to actually hold up. That's something I've said even before, obviously tonight, is that no matter what Biden's doing, every second that he is in the public eye, people are going to be watching him and thinking, is this guy all there?
Does he call him Vice President Trump has been shot tonight? And it was a horrible thing that happened.
I don't know
Not to joke about it, but
I wonder how he actually handles this instance. Is there a chance that he goes on a dementia-ridden ramble of anger at the former president? What do we think could happen in this instance?
I mean, if he somehow handles this well, I do think it helps him. I mean, I hate to say that, but I think if he comes out and says and really handles this very appropriately and maturely and says, look, what happened was terrible. I even in some ways says, I've been on the phone with Trump. We've been in contact. I'm getting updates on him. You know, for those who want to do this, do not do it. And he handles it well. I think if he can do that and string the sentences together in the right way, he's going to actually look good. And I will give him respect and credit where credit is due.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this already, but a few weeks ago, a bunch of leftists were calling for outwardly calling for the assassination of Trump because of presidential immunity. Now, I don't know who these people were that did it. If there was a group of them, whatever, if they have a manifesto, if they talk about the reasoning why they did it. But if they point to any of those statements, the people who made those statements are now could be liable as an accomplice to attempted assassination. This is a real thing.
Biden's going to be on in 2 minutes.
I just got that update. I'm not seeing that anywhere yet besides the text I'd gotten. I'm pulling up the
I just
Biden.
tagged you Harry's post. Apparently he's still saying unclear if it was at Trump or not. He's a little late.
I'm trying to find
I'm
trying to find the live stream of what Biden's going to be saying.
Yep.
Old Roe is already selling a shirt with
I saw that.
Assassination attempt on it.
Let me try to find any live stream. If you guys find any live stream for this, if you can tag me in that would be appreciated, or send it to me so that I can bring up the live stream of Biden's speech wherever this might be happening. Joe Biden. I feel like they would get it on his Twitter or something if it was actually.
Yeah, or on the White House account.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, I am wearing my MAGA hat today here in Hollywood. That's for
Heck
damn
yeah.
sure. That is damn sure.
I just got
You'll see
another
with me
text saying
tonight.
Biden about to speak. Let me go on YouTube. Sometimes their YouTube is usually more up to date.
So I don't know. Leading report there 3 minutes ago, it just said was not struck by a bullet, but hit by glass fragments, believed to have come from the shattered teleprompter from the gunfire. This was according to Pennsylvania State Police. That was from the leading report. So that he wasn't actually shot from any bullet coming at him. It was the glass fragmenting. I mean,
Do we know how many shots were fired? Obviously, there was multiple.
It sounded like 3.
5. Some of them heard 5, but I don't know if that was accurate or not. I heard it several. It was at least 3.
You know what? Hats off to Secret Service that rushed and surrounded him. Imagine your job is to stand with the back of your head facing where the bullets are coming from.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
is insane. And they do it on a moment's notice.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are watching the crowd behind him, and you've got bullets coming in from behind you, and somebody's brain fragments just get splattered on the bench behind him. Now you have to take cover.
Does anybody have the live stream? I'm told that it's
I sent it to you.
Okay, let me get it up here then.
We might be we have to go back a little bit, but
Okay, I am pulling it up here. Oh my gosh, am I frozen right now?
yeah.
Okay. Fabian.
Yeah, send me the link on the private chat and I'll pull it up.
I will not be able to get to the private chat because my computer is currently frozen.
Okay.
Josh, if you can send it to the private chat, Fabian will be able to get it and pull it up. I will be right back.
You can do.
Yeah, so I just got a text. There were 9 shots.
9.
3. Let's see. 3 before he went down, and the rest was Secret Service as a reaction.
Oh,
so there was 3 before or as he was going down, and then
Interesting.
the rest looked like it was a reaction from Secret Service. So at some point, some of these random accounts of seeing a body up on the other buildings and the reaction, and they did act fast after that. So
Yeah.
somebody was watching those buildings. They just weren't doing their job beforehand.
And I'm seeing that apparently.
Did you guys get it? I have it up.
Yeah,
I
you
just
have
sent it.
up?
Yeah.
Okay, I have it here.
All right.
Share. Okay. It already happened. It was very short, but we can watch it now.
By all the agencies in the federal.
Yeah, get him walking up. Let's see how
that's
frail
what
he
I
is.
have.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look,
He's got the butt chin again.
there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country.
You called him a
We
Donald.
cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And so I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far,
that's
it
fucking
appears
disrespectful.
He's doing well. Number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay.
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts.
What?
So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President? What's the security failing, Mr. President?
He's gone. His milk is warming up.
Putin's about to address Russia in 10 minutes.
He really?
He called him Donald. He didn't call him President Trump.
Donald, yeah.
He didn't call him Donald Trump. He called him Donald.
What
That is
else do you
incredibly
call?
disrespectful.
I actually disagree. I
Yeah.
think that's a smart move because if Kev here, I'm not going to call him Mr. Ferris. I'm going to say I called Kev because it's trying to imply a level of
Personal.
friendliness,
Yeah.
and personal relation of, oh no, he's Donald right now. He's not Mr. Trump. He's not my opponent. He's Donald to me right now. It's trying
Yeah,
to
I
portray a
can see
level of a personal relationship.
Yeah, okay, but when you call somebody literally Hitler like all the fucking time, I don't give a shit how personal you want to pretend to be. I'm not buying it. I'm not like I think that I think he should have just said like the former president. I think the former president would have been a perfect line of like where he's not necessarily saying President Trump, but he's also not trying to score any kind of a political point or thought or anything like that either. I think at the same time, though, I don't think it's the most consequential thing. I think that he basically went out there, he read the script, that he was able to get in real quick. In my opinion, it took a little long for them to actually get out any kind of a statement of any kind. I think that took a little too long, but I am impressed. I was not expecting him to come out and give a live statement like that. So I'll give a point on that.
Yeah, I mean, and I did say, like, if he says, he goes, look, I'm going to call him. We're going to talk later. Like I said, like, credit is due. And he's like, look, I'm trying to call him. He's with his doctor right now. When he, I hope I could talk to him later. Like, he is trying his best, I think, to handle this the best he can, because this is a tough situation to deal with. Because I know a lot of people are going to be pointing their fingers at him. And, I get he's trying to go, look, I think this is just as terrible and this is just as wrong.
Absolutely.
Kev, I'm sending you this now. Apparently, this guy saw someone on.
Is this a redhead guy?
Yeah, you saw it already?
Yeah, we covered the end. It was like a 5-minute clip. We watched all of it.
Okay.
There is a picture that I'm seeing now of the shooter being addressed by officers. This is something we had not covered. It's that same rooftop. And we can see this picture now. You can see officers up in the rooftop that we covered in the video earlier. It's not a video. This is just a picture.
Right.
But
it looks like he's down.
Well, he was laying down even earlier. So I'm assuming, that I think he's probably dead. I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see whether or not he's alive.
Well, those videos that people shot looked like the guy hadn't been moving.
He was laying there, not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one surefire way to get dead, shooting at the presidential candidate.
Very interesting. So I'm going to pull up a list. Are Republican presidents more likely to have an assassination attempt on them than Democrats?
I believe so.
Would this have happened under DeSantis or Vivek or?
No. I'm talking about actual assassination attempts. I'm not talking.
I'll look it up right now. Attempts U.S. All right, so we have Abe Lincoln, Republican. He was assassinated. Garfield. He was. What was Garfield? I should know this, but I don't because I'm a bad teacher at times. Let's see. What party was he? Oh, he served in the Union, so he's a Republican. McKinley. William McKinley he was a Republican. John F. Kennedy, Democrat.
But he was the guy who wanted to
anti-CIA.
So those are all successful. Now attempted, we have Teddy. He was technically Bull Moose.
Yeah.
At that point. Ronald Reagan, Republican. And it's already on Wikipedia, Donald Trump.
So Republicans are more likely to have an assassination attempt. I'd be correct in saying that.
Jackson also had an attempt, but it failed. He's a Democrat. Taft had an attempt. He's a Republican. Hoover had an attempt. Or at least a plot at some point. Some of these are plots. FDR had a plot. Truman had a plot. Nixon, Ford, Carter, H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Bush, Barack Obama, and then Trump.
You guys should all go follow me on Twitter if you're not already.
No, not at all.
I'm going to like my own tweet there. But I just still cannot believe that people are saying, too bad the shooter was a poor shooter. Insane.
Oh, they missed. Yeah, that's not good.
Insane
Not a good look.
comments like that. Insane things going on. I did invite Victor Nieves to see if he would maybe come on. He's been somebody that's been covering this pretty quickly as well. I'm trying to keep an eye out for any new news. That
So far, it was one guy or two people from what you guys have been seeing.
Just one guy, 2 dead.
And he looks like he was white, or did you see what color?
Oh, he was Hispanic. Yeah.
Hispanic.
Yeah, Hispanic.
Interesting.
Yeah, I forgot his exact name. But a source
Mark Violet.
Is he an illegal?
That's what that was my next question, because that will change everything.
Breaking. This is from Sean Davis. A source familiar with Trump's security detail tells the Federalist that the former and future president's detail has been asking for beefed up protection and resources for weeks, but they've been rebuffed time and time again by Biden's Department of Homeland Security. DHS, which oversees Secret Service protection detail, quote, wasn't responsive to those requests for more resources, the source said. Was Biden's regime behind the attack, or did they deliberately do everything they could to allow it to happen?
Well, I sent you that thing earlier, too, because they said if he was convicted, they might try to take Secret Service protection from him.
That as well.
We know that they have not given it to RFK either. After
they also
multiple
did just say that Trump Tower security has been increased at Trump Tower, as well as just across New York City.
Guys, JD Vance just commented. Can I pull up JD Vance?
Okay, I will. On Twitter?
Yeah.
Vice presidential hopeful. JD Vance on Twitter just recently. He obviously had this one from CNN. Let's pull up his actual Twitter, see if
He's basically blaming the Biden campaign for this.
Today is not just some isolated incident. The central premise of the Biden campaign is that, oh, sorry, I didn't have it up on screen. The central premise of the Biden campaign is that President Donald Trump is an authoritarian fascist and must be stopped at all costs. This is exactly what I said at the very beginning of all this, is that when you say somebody's Hitler long enough, and it's a constant question in society, things like, if Hitler were alive today, what would you do? Or if you could go back in time and kill baby Hitler, what would you do? And then you keep comparing your political opponent to Hitler. There's going to be somebody that decides to take it into their own hands and go to an extreme.
Yeah. I knew this was going to happen at some point. I didn't know it would be this late in the game, close to election, but it did happen. I was fearful of this exact thing happening.
Yeah, and I had a friend earlier who called me, and he was saying, and he he was angry and this and that, and he blamed the Biden campaign. I will say this though, the only person I blame is the shooter, and I said the same thing when who was the Republican that was shot by the Bernie supporter?
There was I don't remember exactly who it was,
Steve Scalise.
Yes, when that happened, I didn't blame Bernie Sanders. I blamed the shooter. The Bernie Sanders never said,
right,
go kill him, and I think in here, yes, Biden and the left might have this. He's Hitler. He's terrible.
Did we watch Alex Jones?
I was about to watch the Alex Jones one, but then I saw this below, and this is because I felt like this kind of has to. You're right, Josh. Ultimately, the shooter is the one who pulled the trigger, and they're the one who deserves the blame for the incident. But if you want to prevent things like this from happening again, and if you wanted to prevent this from happening in the first place, or at least not even prevent, take preventative measure, maybe don't have crap like this, and constant calls for attacks, and Maxine Waters saying, don't let people feel comfortable, assault them in public, go after them. Let's see what Alex Jones had to say about all this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you that we're not in normal times. World War III, nuclear war is this close. They just fired 5 shots at Trump and hit him in the side of the head. And the media's like, oh, big deal. He survived an assassination attempt. This is crazy town. Biden is a complete puppet. The New World Order is melting down everywhere. And I believe they're getting ready to kill Biden and blame it on a Trump supporter. I've been saying that for over a year. So President Trump in Pennsylvania up there gets shot at, gets hit in the side of the head, survives. That image of him up there with the blood on his face, defiant, is incredible. And now the deep state that's committed all these crimes and opened the borders and human trafficked and started World War III, they are so desperate, they're going to go for broke. And I've told Trump, I've told his campaign, you've got to be more careful. We got to pray for President Trump right now. This is such a dangerous time. I'm in Northern California with what would be a huge story breaking tomorrow, and it's still going to break. Massive story we're working on right now, okay? Secret mission. And it will still break it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this attempted assassination of Trump means we're not in Kansas anymore. And now they've tried to kill him with a gun. They're going to try to poison him. So Trump, inside circle, listen to me. And I know you've listened before. You have the Secret Service call me. I've briefed them on stuff. Listen to me. They're going to try to poison him now. This blew up in their face. They failed. They fired 5 shots. They killed 2 people, maybe 3. Of course, they got rid of the shooter, so they can't find out who that was. This means the New World Order is going for broke. They have nothing to lose now. Pray for America, pray for Trump, pray for the free press, pray for truth, and know with, 112 days from the election now, anything is possible right now. Deep state, escalation of war with Russia, China, Taiwan, it's all on the table. False flag terror attacks, blame it on Trump, his supporters, they've been hyping that. We need to pray right now for mass awakening and mass discernment because America is fighting for its life. I'm about to do a live show as soon as the crew can get into the office. I just got off an airplane, just got here to where I was staying. I'm going to do a live show at Infowars.com/show, banned out video, and real Alex Jones. I'm collecting all the notes, all the videos. We'll be live in the next 30 minutes to an hour at Infowars.com/show, banned out video, and real Alex Jones on X. But pray for President Trump. He needs to get out there and speak immediately about this. He's got to be very, very careful, obviously, in the future. But again, pray for Trump, pray for America. The deep state has overplayed their hand. They're completely screwed, which means they're going to strike back big time.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very well said. Very well said about the poisoning, about Biden getting taken out and then pitting both sides against each other and say, hey, you guys go at it. Because if there's massive turmoil and there's civil unrest, then they can potentially say we can't have, under these circumstances, we can't hold an election until things calm down. What that looks like, we've never been in a place like this, so I don't know. Is that martial law? Is that something else? Is that, who knows?
Wait. Reports are circling that former President Trump could be attending UFC fight with Dana tonight.
It's just a flesh wound. It's fine.
If he
Gentry, imagine if that happens.
That
would be insane.
I know Trump's pushing for it, but I don't.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know if they'll let him, because think about it. After what just happened, there's no way the Secret Service could do. They can't.
But
but here's the thing. Okay. Wait.
Imagine with a statement though. What that would.
What
make.
is a safer place? There is no one no one else has a plan. Like no one would have a plan to get Donald at the UFC fight. Like no one would have a plan. Like obviously there's the chances of two.
There'll be no time to set it up. Is what you're saying.
The chances of 2 assassination attempts in one night would be so unprecedented that it's not going to happen. It wouldn't happen.
I also I want to go back to what Alex said, because the one thing I found interesting was I was watching the live stream, the Trump stream when it happened, and after it happened, the camera zoomed out, and you just saw people just yelling at the media, just saying like, "You did this, you caused this," they're throwing middle fingers up and all that. And I do definitely feel like if something were to happen to like at a Biden rally or to a Biden headquarters or to Biden himself, like God forbid, they are automatically going to be like, well, look at how mad these people were. Clearly this is them. Like they automatically will flip it. I want nothing to happen to anyone. I hope this is the end of it. But
Vivek just said something a few minutes ago, Kev. Vivek, I don't know if you read Vivek's statement already.
I saw one, and I think even Elon already commented on it, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
I will pull it up so we can cover it. This isn't a bad one. This is a good one. I just
quickly, I want to say something really quick. When you're in a situation like that and there's shots that are being fired, I see it all the time. You don't know if you're shot or not because your adrenaline is pumping so hard. When Trump was making the fist, the infamous photo, that is complete fury. That is complete anger. Your adrenaline's going through your body. I've been in situations like that where you don't know what is happening. You're just so pissed off. A lot of people who are shot, they don't know that they're shot until after they start bleeding out, and then the body starts going into shock. So that reaction that he had right there, holy shit. Like, that is pure unbridled fury and anger.
No, absolutely. It is definitely an adrenaline-filled moment. Here's Vivek's statement that we're bringing up. First, they sued him, then they prosecuted him, then they tried to take him off the ballot. The only thing more tragic than what just happened is that, if we're being honest, it wasn't totally a shock. Biden's inevitable ritual condemnation of political violence today, when it comes, will be insufficient and irrelevant. No amount of verbiage today changes the toxic national climate that led to this tragedy. Apoorva and I mourn for the rally attendee who was apparently killed by the shooter. We believe that the fact that President Trump is safe right now is nothing short of an act of God. My heart tells me God intervened not just for Trump, but for our nation today. The future survival of the United States came down to less than a hair's width in the path of a bullet. If any good comes out of today, let it be this. Americans just had the chance to see our next president's true character unvarnished. He took the fire, he took the hit, he felt the blood, and then he stood right back up for the people who he was put here to lead. Regardless of who you vote for, let's unite around the truth. Of course, that was Vivek's campaign slogan. That what happened today is unacceptable now and forever. May we all remember Thomas Jefferson's words 225 years ago. A little patience, and we shall see the reign of witches pass over, their spells dissolve, and the people recovering their true sight restore their government to its true principles. It is true that in the meantime, we are suffering deeply in spirit and incurring the horrors of a war and long oppressions. And if we feel their power just sufficiently to hoop us together, it will be the happiest situation in which we can exist. If the game runs sometimes against us, we must have patience till luck turns, and then we shall have an opportunity of winning back the principles we have lost, for this is a game where principles are at stake. Fascinating statement from the AI candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy. Thoughts on what he had to say?
Every time I read our founding fathers, it just makes me more enthralled by how incredibly smart they were at such a young age. Like, it just doesn't make sense how smart people were back then, how well read and how well knowledgeable, not maybe on the things that we know now, but on the human condition and what drives people and how life should be organized. It's just incredible, man. These guys are 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I saw Fabian texted me this, and also Josh had texted me something similar to this earlier. So we could take a look at this. Ranking member, this is back in April of this year. Ranking member Thompson introduces legislation to ensure no Secret Service protection for convicted felons sentenced to prison. And so this was an instance, and I believe there's multiple instances in which people had called for Donald Trump to lose his Secret Service protection, whether that's due to the indictments against him, the now felony conviction, January 6th, even the impeachments. People were trying to take away Trump's Secret Service protection for a multitude of reasons. It had been floated and even brought to the point of legislation. Does this speak to, is this purely coincidence, or does this speak to the idea that somebody, if not many somebodies, want him dead? What do you guys think?
Oh, 1,000%. There's no question. If anyone thinks the opposite, they're in La La Land. Like, it's obvious. We want less protection for one of the most loved and hated men on the planet.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. Why else would you try to remove his Secret Service detail? Why? There's no other reason than you are planning or even just hinting that he could be killed, or even insinuating. There's no other reason for that.
Absolutely. Are we seeing anything else come out?
An hour ago, MSNBC had an inside. 2 senior law enforcement officials tell NBC News that there is a growing concern in law enforcement circles that this may have been a serious attempt on the life of the former president.
Yeah,
they're an hour late, so there's that. Yeah, there's not anything like really new that we haven't probably discussed yet.
You go, Fabian.
I was thinking about this as soon as I heard this happen when I was out hiking, and I said, "Thank God that he wasn't assassinated, because think if he was, think about what that would do. There would be a scramble to nominate someone else, and that person, there was no chance in my mind that the person, whoever that person is, could win being anything less than extreme. The words that person would have had to use to rile up the base on the Republican side would have been pretty extreme, because I don't think anyone, if he had been killed right now, and everyone, all of the anger's coming out, the person to come out of that fire and take the banner and run with it, what he would have said would have had to have been extreme. It would have to have been extreme. And at that point, we'd have a decision to make. Do you want to really go down that extreme route? I think we were very lucky that he wasn't assassinated for many, many reasons.
Yeah. From what behind him, he was very close that it could have been him instead of the person in the crowd behind him. That was how close it was. That's pretty scary. He was inches away from actually being killed.
No, absolutely. I'm even seeing many people are obviously going on and there's a frenzy on this. But one thing that I saw that I thought was interesting is the verbiage, and it just speaks to something that we've talked about before, is the idea that they've obviously come after Trump with his rhetoric, and that definitely has sparked some flames that led people to have thoughts and even carry out potential actions that led to things like this. And the way that somebody put it, one person put it on Twitter, was when you constantly assassinate somebody's character, eventually that could lead to real assassination. And I found that very powerful.
You know, I have an interesting question, and this is a hypothetical, of course, but we're talking about the idea of, you know, someone's words being used for incitement, even though they never actually said the words "be violent." Could we see people go to be charged criminally the same way they charged Trump with January 6th? Because think about it, they said he, you know, incited the insurrection, even though he never said go break into the Capitol building. So could we see some Republican, you know, DA go, you know what? Because Donald Trump was just shot, you said something very similar of he's a threat to our democracy and you need to make your voice heard and this and that. I'm not going to hold you to the same standard. Could we see that in the next couple of days?
Well, I mean, it depends on, can they ping all the phones of the area that were supposed, you know, liberals in the crowd? I mean,
well, that's not what he's saying. No, you're not hearing him correctly, Ryan. What he's saying is, like, could you go after anybody who's called who says like Trump's Hitler and
anybody in the past, like, I gotcha.
Yeah, like all of
That's what I was saying earlier.
Right.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. When the left came out a few weeks ago and said, "Oh, now that he has presidential immunity, finish the job, assassinate Trump," they were literally saying this, and I know why they were all saying it at the same time. They were attempting to flood Instagram or social media with so many of these comments that the Secret Service wouldn't have enough agents to investigate each and every one of those statements. So they were flooding it. But now what do? Do you institute more censorship? Do you go and then use the tools that the left have been using to go after the people and censor them if they said that? Do you go down that path, which is a path you've been fighting? There's a lot of unknowns right now. But I do think that if you're openly calling for the assassination of a president, that you should have the full weight of the Justice Department, the good Justice Department, on you. Because that is literally an incitement of violence, and that is not covered under freedom of speech.
Yeah, this is just going to lead to I teach government. This is going to lead to a really fun lesson, I think. And if there's any positive in this, I'm gonna find that the positive is this is going to be a really fun lesson on what happens if this occurs. You know, it's going to be a fun semester. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I saw that image. I can bring that one up soon. One thing I think that is becoming fascinating is the entire idea that we see people, like I just got Josh sent me this one. Like JB Pritzker comes out, another cookie cutter bullshit response where it's like violence is never the answer.
Yeah.
We're praying. Oh, okay. JB,
Now you pray.
You're praying. What about for all the babies that you enable the murder of in our
His
state?
tweet right below it literally just talks about abortion.
Well, and like,
If you-
look,
if you
and
go to-
then this is what I think is so important is that people right here are Donald Trump and his MAGA cronies will descend upon our neighbors in Wisconsin next week. This is literally yesterday, spreading lies and misinformation wherever they can.
Yeah.
And they will reject their extremist policies in November. If when like this is like, man, you can't come and be like, we're praying for you. We're so sad about this. Like the violence is never the answer. Like
disingenuine and it's fake at best. It's ridiculous. Get out of here.
Like they're saying the politically correct thing, and like I'll give them half a point for that, but deduct 10 for everything else they say.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers don't cover it. We need action. That's what they always say.
Right? Yeah, I know.
So where's their action?
I was thinking the same thing.
So they'll pray for it when it's in this time, but they know. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right with that one. I'm gonna pull up that. Here is the picture of, you can see the distance between Trump and the shooter. Shooter there, Trump there. And this is like the Google Earth view of it. So obviously you can't see all the different people. It's a little bit different.
Sorry, Kev, where was he at?
So
where was the shooter?
So the shooter is right up here. This is
so you mean to tell me that he was on the closest rooftop to the stage,
150 yards away, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep, you can see.
And then nobody scoped that up beforehand.
Can you tell me how that makes any sense? As a common logical person, I'm not in the Secret Service, but I'd probably say, hey guys, maybe let's have a sniper on the closest building to the podium.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Well, technically, I'd say these ones down here are probably the closest, but you're right.
A straight on shot.
Yeah, that building. I mean, it's I just think like you ever go to, like if you go to Washington D.C. I remember I was walking around and I go, wow, that's a lot of snipers. And my uncle goes, yeah, those are the ones they want you to see.
Yeah,
there's 1,000 more aimed at you right now, and it's like, oh right, yeah. It's like you would.
We thought.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's like you would think they would have some people on those roofs aiming.
Yeah.
And actually, I was listening to, because I don't have cable. Who has cable anymore? But I was listening to like Fox Now, which is like their up to date, just like quick stuff, and they're talking about this, and they brought on a terrorism expert, and he was saying, and he goes, well, maybe this is one of those plastic ghost guns they've been talking about.
Oh my God.
What?
How did he get a gun in the rally? He wasn't really at the rally. I mean,
that's exactly what he said. He goes, well, maybe he wasn't actually at the rally. Maybe he was nearby. It's like, okay, they're not going to secure a perimeter. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe he was just outside. I don't know. Look, I really don't know what happened necessarily, but like maybe maybe they have a certain like meter perimeter around, and it's like 100 meters around or something, because the chances of a hit from further or something are so slim. I don't know.
They said 150 yards. They don't know the exact. I'm sure maybe they're just kind of pinpointing it at this point, but yeah, there's going to be some questions from the Secret Service detail for sure, as well as local and state resources of how they missed this target.
UFC fighter, Kev, I just texted to you.
Yep.
Evan Elder gives a shout out to Donald Trump after the assassination attempt, after his win in the UFC right now.
Let's take a look. I can get this up on screen. We can take a look and listen to this clip right here.
Hey, I heard they just tried to whack my boy Trump. I'm glad that man's okay. Long live Trump. Let's go, baby. Trump 2024. Denver, let's hear for Evan Elder. Hey,
I don't know who this guy is, but he just became something.
Evan Elder, gives a shout out to Donald Trump for the assassination attempt at his rally.
Yeah, it's still the prelims right now. It's not even the main card yet.
I just sent you. Andy sent it to you, but I sent it to you as well. It's President Trump released a statement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a look right here, and I'll read through this. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, but who is now dead. I was shot. I kind of like that. Nothing is known about the shooter, except for that they're dead.
He died a beautiful death.
Dead like a dog.
Nothing is known. He died like a dog, like Qasim or Soleimani.
Pronouns were
Al-Baghdadi. Al-Baghdadi. Nothing is known at the time about the shooter who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper right part of my right ear.
Okay.
I knew immediately that something was wrong. In that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized that then what was happening.
A lot of blood.
God bless America. Much bleeding, very much blood. Some would say more blood than if I was shot anywhere else. It was a lot of blood. Quite a good amount of blood.
And you know, and this is why everyone says the guy's a stand-up comedian. Even then, much bleeding took place. It's like, well, yeah, you got shot. Of course you're bleeding. Like, you don't need to say that.
Well, I mean, what's crazy? And we're laughing, and thank God he's in high spirits. But
yeah,
imagine if someone just tried to kill you, man. Imagine that.
Yeah,
just imagine that. And they almost did. They almost
bright
did.
red in color with a lot of blood.
It's my understanding. It is my understanding that, and I know Fabian just went on the phone, so he's not going to hear any of this. So I'll take this moment to tell everybody that Fabian actually is officially a homosexual.
He also is being questioned now by
very
the
gay
FBI.
man. But no, what I do want to say though is that I believe Donald Trump had more death threats than any U.S. president, more credible death threats than any U.S. president during their tenure.
Allegedly. Fact check him.
You guys can check
somebody in media fact check him.
I'll fact check right now.
I believe he did, because I feel like I remember reading that in Triggered by Donald Trump Jr. When that came out, or maybe it was Liberal Privilege that I read that in. It was one of Donald Trump Jr.'s books. I believe that he had more credible death threats than any sitting U.S. president while he was in office. Maybe
I
I'm
looked it up and I found nothing. So,
well,
there's your source.
Sources.
I'm just too smart. We can take a look here at this picture here.
I don't know.
It seems to
what
be.
it is. I saw that. I don't know if it's
It's
exact.
from Matt Wallace, who is. I will say Matt Wallace does sensationalize things, but this does seem to be a picture from the scene potentially.
Yeah.
It looks edited, to be honest.
That's what I only tried it just to see it. Just to
Photoshop.
look at it, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
But interesting. I mean, it seems as though obviously Trump is safe. He's alive, which is something I was not sure about.
Yeah. Well, we heard multiple reports of what he possibly got hit with, and he himself is now saying, a bullet actually did hit him.
It wasn't glass,
right? It wasn't glass. Yeah, so he did get clipped.
Oh, this is fascinating. A photo captured a millisecond before the bullet hit Trump. You can.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Is that real?
This is DC Drano, or End Wokeness, not DC. This is End Wokeness, who this is from Doug Mills, New York Times.
Wow. So he's like,
that's who it says. It's from a New York Times reporter. So I would say, or New York Times photographer. So I would say probably, assuming that source is accurate.
Yeah.
My I sent the statement to my family. My sister pointed something out. He said he talked about the other people before talking about himself. That's actually
I noticed that. I noticed that
very,
as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trump just started wearing a bulletproof vest as advised by his security detail. It saved his life. He took a shot to the chest. That's from Forgiato Blow, who is he's not actually Trump's nephew. He puts on there that he is, but he's not.
This,
He's the target rapper, whatever.
I mean, that could be a
song is.
shadow, even.
Could be
Yeah,
a
it
sweat
could be a
stain.
shadow. It could be a crease. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that. Everyone's saying he's wearing like a bulletproof vest.
I mean, if not now, at this point, I think he should going forward.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know too many of them that actually do. I mean, Teddy had a speech in his pocket. That worked.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because people immediately said like this gives such Teddy Roosevelt energy. I kind of agree. I mean, I talk about. I did a whole lesson on Teddy last my first year because
the way he stood up and then defiantly
and then he made
got
fun
up
of the guy and he said this is a woman's gun and handed it back to him. that's insane. He's like, this is a woman's gun. Here you go.
Kept going. Yeah,
he handed it to him.
Yeah.
Like, what a crazy guy. But
yeah,
it's I don't know. This whole thing is going to be.
This is insane. A Democrat rep, Stephen Woodrow of Colorado's 2nd District, made a post stating that no one should have sympathy for President Trump, likening him to the devil. The last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are.
And canceled.
See up for re-election.
Somebody.
Well, if he's a Democrat from Colorado's 2nd District, that would mean he's a
Okay.
congressman, which means he would be.
Mm-hmm.
I missed that part. I'm sorry.
Donald Trump is really, that's his statement. You guys can watch me live tweet right now.
Do it.
How many spelling mistakes will you have?
There will be so many to count.
Kofefe.
I hold the record for
I only
having-
hear Kofefe. Oh, guys, good news. Good news. Texas Roadhouse brought back the peanuts. Nature's healing.
Wow.
It's good to know. My friend Mitch just sent
That's under
that.
Project
I think that's important
25.
news.
Yeah. Breaking news. The peanuts are back.
Breaking news.
I feel like that would be a Joe Biden quote. I don't know why.
Yeah. End of quote. Peanuts are back.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. Also, great to see the hat.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
After he got his phone sex call.
It was Harry. Harry called him.
Harry
to get the
Sisson,
inside scoop. Yeah.
Fabian has phone sex with Harry Sisson.
No.
That was our topic, Fabian, while you were gone, by the way. I'll be the leak.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay.
We
No,
can't
this
hear
was
you.
what I was going to say, though. Yeah, we can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I said Harry Sisson definitely gets pegged. 100%. 100%.
There's only one way you
Joe
know.
or Joe?
There's only one way you know. There's only one
I think
way
they take the
you
check.
know.
They take the check that Biden writes and he rolls it up, and he just drills it. And then he shoots a video while it's in.
You would know. You would know. But now that Elon Musk has officially endorsed Trump, like I saw that he donated to the America PAC, but now it is official. He has officially endorsed Trump. He's obviously posting. You can see things like this. I find it kind of interesting because the original reason why Truth Social was made, in part, was because Donald Trump got canceled off Twitter, and so he was just like, "Fuck you, I'll make my own."
Yep.
Well, now Twitter X is pro-Trump. Like, it is, like, the guy who owns it it's a pro-Trump platform. This is I just find that interesting. Like, I would have never guessed it. I would have never had that on any of my bingo cards anywhere. So I've seen that.
Oh, check this out. DC Drano just posted scoop from a trained sniper. I'll let you read it. No, DC Drano, Kev.
I know, but I just was told I was sent something from this is United States Secret Service 8 minutes ago. During former President Trump, approximately 6:15, suspected shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage, elevated position outside of the rally. They neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. U.S. Secret Service quickly responded with protective measures. and the former president is safe and being evaluated. One spectator was killed. 2 spectators were critically injured. The incident is currently under investigation, and Secret Service has formally notified the FBI. Interesting.
There's some calling for the head of the Secret Service to resign.
I've seen that. Yep. We can go to DC Drano here. What are we looking at? What did scoop from a train scooper?
Yeah.
That whole thing was an effing failure. The Secret Service got there slow. The SWAT team got there slow. And why did they keep him on that stage? He should have been off there in 2 seconds, yet they stand him up for what? To give the shooter another shot. Look at the old Reagan assassination attempt. He was out of there in 0.2 seconds. Why didn't a drone pick him up? We cover the Boston Marathon better than they cover our own president. It's so BS. If anyone says how great of a job the SS or SWAT team did, they are full of crap. They sucked. They should be ashamed of themselves. Interesting. I don't know enough to make a personal comment on that, but I will say it seems.
I mean, I understand. Yes, they definitely should have seen him, but the fact is, they jumped on him. They did their job. They covered him with their bodies.
Yeah, and they didn't let him up until it was clear.
Stopped hearing shooting, and they because you hear one of the guys yell, "Shooters down!"
Clear.
As soon as they say that, they go to stand him up.
Yeah,
and so once they go to stand him up, it's like, okay, shooters down. They stand him up. I think he was the one who he kept going, wait. Like here, Trump's like, wait.
Where's my shoes?
He wanted to stand up and put his fist up to say, I'm okay, before they took him off. I mean,
Also, you have to realize that all of those Secret Service agents have microphones in their ears. So if the shooter was reporting like we got him, then at least they knew that they've been neutralized.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you loudly hear a Secret Service guy say, "Shooters down," and as soon as they say that, they go, "Get up," and they get him.
I think
off.
one of them's like clear to move, so they moved him after that point. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I couldn't
They're gonna dogpile at least. I don't know any inside moves, but I'm guessing the dogpile technique would be until somebody's clear to move him upright. That's the only reason I saw.
Right. The dog pile is they're there to take a bullet, so the president does.
And then they're down until they can get him up to move him, because obviously you don't want to move until he's being shot at more. So yeah, crazy.
Oh, there's a really close-up picture of the shooter.
Where?
The quartering.
Oh, that's Quarter Black Garrett, I think.
Black Garrett, yeah.
Sorry, who's that?
Quarter Black Garrett. He used to be on Louder with Crowder. Is it this guy? This one?
Yeah.
So while you were on the phone, we had this picture. We weren't sure if it was edited or not.
Yeah. That doesn't look like anything what they described the shooter earlier. He doesn't look anything like the guy, but as far as the body type.
Well, but even earlier when they're like, "Oh, this is who it is," it's like it could not be though. I mean, people are just going off of whatever they have.
Here's the other thing too: is that they said the shooter was in the stadium, right? And now we're saying that the shooter was like 150 yards out on a roof. And then we also saw a video of somebody getting carried out very irreverently, right? So I'm assuming that's who it would be.
They never confirmed that they was in. That was just speculation. The person being carried out, I'm assuming, is one of the people who was killed, or one of the people who
carrying him out so irreverently. I don't know. I would find fault with that if I was the family of the people who got killed.
I guarantee it was probably to try to get what
Daily Wire just reposted something, and I don't know if it's real or fabricated, but it's a photo of a bullet, of the first bullet.
My dude, we covered all of this while you were taking your phone break.
You can invite Harry over anytime you want, Fabian, but we talk about more important things here. I don't know if you know that.
We covered all of that while
listen, it was a very important call from someone in the industry. So I was getting some.
Which industry? Because you're in 4 industries.
In the conservative media industry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Was the shooter trans? Do we know that?
I don't know. I guess that could be something we learn.
A trans Latinx.
Allegedly
trans Latinx.
Latinx.
Eligibitica Latinx. Interesting. I'm seeing if there's any more news updates. I'm just seeing a lot come in.
You have journalists. Yeah, you've got journalists saying, stupid things as they would, but that's make America.
That
AIM
lady's
again.
gonna have.
She's gonna be fired, hopefully.
Better be.
Interesting calls from Comfortably Smug. If President Biden wants to bring the country together, he pardons Trump, apologizes to the American people, and then resigns and calls on Americans to vote for Trump. I could see of all of these
Biden
things.
did say that literally yesterday. He said, "Listen to Trump."
Yeah, listen to him.
Listen to him. Which my theory is that in his earpiece, someone said, "Listen to him," and then Biden just leaned over,
repeated it.
Listen to him.
Listen to the report. Listen to the reporter, you idiot.
Listen to Trump.
Yeah. I've seen those Reid Hoffman posts. I don't know anything about what his deal is in it, but
James Lindsay just said a very, very well-known. I think he came up with that. I don't know, but it's called "Their Target's Reaction is a Real Action." And I'm sorry, it's not his. It's Saul Alinsky. So Conceptual James, he essentially is saying their target's reaction is a real action. Stay calm. So the whole point of this is to elicit violence from the right to then pin things on them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. I go, some people are really angry, and I understand the anger. I mean, I think everyone's scared and angry. But yeah, I think right now the biggest thing all conservatives should be saying is, look, remain calm. It's taken care of. We're going to figure it out, but you do not go do anything stupid.
Yeah. Take the news cycle, let it play out, and let more things kind of happen, and then kind of react from there. But I mean, we're all human. Our first instinct was, "Holy shit, he just got shot." But I think you're right, Josh. You need to have a measured approach. You don't want to step in their trap, which is why January 6th was their biggest plot, to use that against everybody else.
Right, and I think more people should start talking about, hey, can we start praying for the two that were lost and the one that we pray for the one that was injured? Like I know, like when I stepped away, my girlfriend called me and she was like, "It's sad and all." She goes, "But why is no one talking about the first person that was killed?"
Yeah,
I'm like, I fully agree. Like, we should be being like, look, this, and that's why, like, when Trump even said, he goes, "Look, someone died here today. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Someone died.
Yeah,
we need to talk about that."
Wait, did anyone see this?
Yeah, we talked about that guy already.
That's why
is it actually? It doesn't even look like him in the picture.
That's what I said earlier.
That's the rumored shooter.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we know nothing.
Unless we have more clear, confirmed consensus.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. I'm looking at. This is interesting. At the center of Times Square, not a single video monitor reporting that President Trump has been shot.
But even then, because I feel like it took a while because right when Andy told us, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like scrolling, like, I'm not seeing a single thing about this. It took like 20 minutes for the news to get out.
Yeah. I was watching, Ty Smith had it on live stream on his, and I was just starting to watch it as he was explaining what was happening. So I tuned into him, and he kept playing it over and over again. First of all, I was like disbelief, but I mean that someone can get that close to an actual shot.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is and I feel like Trump's response, like when he actually comes out and does a video response, it's going to be on par with Ronald Reagan's "I'm sorry, honey, I forgot to duck." It's going to be, or his "Missed Me." Those are two of the best videos of any president.
Well, the "Missed Me" one, though, was a popping balloon.
Right. But he understood that he was just shot, and he just went "Missed Me," and then just kept going. I mean, that's a great moment. And I feel like he's going to do Something very similar.
Not to play a what if scenario, but does this happen with any other candidate?
What do you mean?
You know, if the way the rhetoric is right now with these two individuals and how the hatred and the absolute loathing for Trump, does this happen with if he's not the candidate on stage? Does this? I mean, does this happen at a
You're talking
DeSantis
about
rally?
like Biden, or I'm
No,
so confused.
does
what
this
you're
happen to
asking.
Biden? Does this happen to DeSantis? Like, if he's not the Republican front runner, because of the messaging around him and what he's perceived as is by the left.
I
If
hope
it's Vivek, well, I'm just saying, but just hypothetically, like, is the rhetoric turned up this much if it's DeSantis or Vivek or somebody along in the lines, or is it just so much pinned on Trump?
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like it is largely.
That's all I was getting at. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I hope it wouldn't, but it just makes someone kind of question. It's like just other scenarios.
I think
like,
this is a good clip that I got from Fabian here. Let's take a look at this.
20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Let it replay so we can really see at the beginning there again.
Wow. Wow.
Kev, I just sent you something on Twitter.
Okay, I'll go find that one.
We're gonna probably see a lot more type of these videos come along.
Yeah.
This
The
is
reaction.
President Trump's motorcade just leaving the hospital 2 minutes ago from Benny Johnson.
Yeah, that is a motorcade.
Mm-hmm. A little more organized now.
Yeah, after they've had time to organize themselves, it would seem.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that one.
Yeah, imagine just the scenario. You're after this happens, then you have to go and clear an entire wing of the local hospital to get him treated, and just a few hours after everything, just you couldn't pay me enough to be in the Secret Service ring at this point.
No.
Let's see some of these comments here. I wonder that gun the shooter was using would be an interesting thought there. Everybody, no matter where you're watching from, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment, share all that stuff. I always got to do the shameless plug, and check out Breakaway USA and everything else for the latest news and breaking news just like this in a way that no one else will cover it.
Did you guys know that Elon had 2 attempts in the last 8 months?
Really?
No.
Yeah, he just tweeted it out in response to somebody. 2 separate occasions have already tried to kill me in the past 8 months. They were arrested with guns about 20 minutes from the Tesla headquarters in Texas.
Wow.
And that's from himself.
Yeah, Elon has a crazy security detail.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, when you're one of the smartest people in the world, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I don't have a security detail.
Well, because you're not one of the smartest people in the world.
Says you.
You see that it's called connecting the dots, critical thinking. I teach that in my class. You should take my class.
Are you ready to go back to school? Are you ready for fall to come in?
Starting in a couple weeks. I'm getting ready. I gotta freshen some stuff up. I gotta put a whole philosophy class together. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
How large of a chunk is your current events?
So I do government, and it takes a semester. My whole last half of my class is more like modern, like here's how elections work, here's how debates work.
I'm seeing a lot of people discuss the idea, because I want to keep on topic here, guys.
Yeah, no, you're good.
A lot of people like Laura Loomer, we can see right here, and I know people have different opinions on Laura Loomer. But and I've seen a lot of people say things like this. I don't ever want to hear anybody mention January 6th ever again. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is comparable? Do you think this is worse, better? Like what are your thoughts
Pearl
on the
Harbor.
comparison between this and
Yeah, I
January
mean,
6th?
look, she's
And this
she's
is like-
making big clickbaity statements to get clicks. I get it. She's mad.
Mhm.
I get it. But I mean, what does every Democrat have to do with, like, not every Democrat's mentioning January 6th. You're basically just throwing
Yes, they
all of them in. And well, I'm saying, like, I don't like to use blanket statements for everyone, because there's people in the Democratic Party that are more level-headed. You have your leftists, you have your classical liberals. Like,
I mean, dude, here's what I know. Here's what I know. The Democrats love to organize under power, right? And so what they're going to do is they're just going to repeat everything that is said, right? I still get comments about January 6th. It happened like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And like, they just won't shut up about it, like, at all. They won't shut up about any of his felony convictions. They won't shut up about this Epstein thing that has come out that has already been debunked, right? That Trump was all over the Epstein like flight logs and all this kind of stuff, and through like Palm Beach. So I think this is a really rational take. I don't think that anybody can, because like we were at January 6th, right? But gosh, I don't know. Like I'm so fired up. I don't even know what to feel right now. I'm mad and sad all at the same time.
yeah, same.
Like to some extent, I think that the comparison is worth having, not necessarily being like, oh, well, Democrats talk about this. No, but like, let's say, why don't we open a special or a select committee to investigate Secret Service and their and this whole event and what we knew about credible threats prior to, because that's the thing, is every single presidential event that ever happens, almost always there is somebody on some forum somewhere that makes a threat to a president's life, or even just a veiled threat. And they usually have lists as to what is considered credible, what is not credible, and levels. I mean, I even know that at football games, my sister had a friend that this was actually part of her job. Her job was to scroll through social media and see the people that might be making threats against different players. They do it for private security too. It's not just for political candidates. And so we should have a select committee that bipartisanly investigates all of this, and the Secret Services, what their protocols were, if it was followed, the people at the scene. Like, sure, let's do the level of investigation and the level of criticism.
But that's not going to happen, because here's the way it goes. Joe Biden is the big boss. Then it goes Mayorkas. Then it goes Department of Homeland Security. And then it goes Secret Service, right? And so it's just a whole trail of corruption. Like, if you're going to trust any of these investigations, then I feel like you're putting your faith in the wrong thing. Like, sure, there are good.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen though. I'm not saying it's gonna.
There are good actors in these orgs, right? So I'm not just gonna like Fabian saying throw a blanket statement, but there are people who want to do like a good job. But like, the middle managers are just going to shut this down because they're so leftist and so corrupt.
Well, see, you're right. And that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying that is what is going to happen. What I'm saying is that's what should. If we're going to compare it to January 6th, instead of just being like, Democrats shouldn't talk about it. No, let's
make it our January 6th.
Let's make it that. Like, that's what we should do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that.
Well, then in that case, we should have blanket statements saying you tried to kill Trump. Every Democrat tried to kill Trump.
But also,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think it could happen. I mean, I think there could be. I mean, let's remember, Republicans do control the House right now. Yes, it's a slim majority, but they do control the House. Nothing stops Mike Johnson from saying we're opening up a House investigation committee on this. Nothing stops him from doing that. He's in charge. He could very well do it. Will he? I don't know. I could see it, but I mean, we could do it.
The shooter apparently was identified as a white male, was in a sniper position located hundreds of yards away from Trump's podium in Butler, PA, as he spoke to a campaign crowd, sources said. This is Amanda. Thank you for that update. That's a good one.
She's really good at getting the information for me. I'm just saying.
Ryan, I think you're a little biased.
I might be. She might be the best of all time. That's fine. I think we make this our January 6th. I think we open up those worms. I don't know if I go as far as there's a Republican congressman that says that we should get Joe Biden and investigated for incitement of assassination. I think to Josh's point earlier, you don't make this a broad message of who incited what, because that's what they did to Trump. And we know he wasn't responsible for January 6th incidents. So I think to blame Biden and open up a can that's not going to be open fully is baseless too. When you have an investigation by a hearing in a House committee, you have to have action beyond that. There's no teeth. If you just say, well, we're going to put it out there, we're going to investigate, it has to have some kind of action afterwards. That's all these hearings on Capitol Hill have been. Like, we're going to investigate. We got him now. There's nothing out of these hearings other than just, oh, I did my job. I investigated.
That's interesting. That's
but who-
interesting.
but who gets held accountable?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez released a statement as
Oh
well.
gosh.
There is no place for political violence, including the quote horrific incident we just witnessed in Pennsylvania. It is absolutely unacceptable and must be denounced in the strongest terms. My heart goes to all the victims, and I wish the former president a speedy recovery. Wouldn't say Trump. I think the interesting thing is, if you notice, a lot of these liberals, they will not say the word assassination.
Oh, weird.
And
Or
it's almost
assassination
the
attempt.
same.
It's all.
almost the
It's
same
just an
statement
incident.
as Obama and Biden.
Mm-hmm. Political violence is not allowed in our democracy. You want to make it personal, say, I am sorry that this happened to President Trump on his campaign, rally. This needs to end. Make it more personal than just, this shouldn't be happening in our country. This is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Okay. But damn well that if a crazed shooter were to shoot at Joe Biden's right ear, that this would be to all go to prison.
Yep. I don't know if
Exactly.
I felt like maybe you might have frozen up, but maybe it was just me.
Maybe.
Or did anybody else have that too?
Did I freeze up?
No, it's just
A
me.
little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I might.
Let's look here. I'm trying to see what else could be included in any of this. What else is going crazy on all of this? What's trending right now?
Elon just posted extreme incompetence or it was deliberate. Either way, the SS leadership must resign. This is the second time he's called for that.
There's a lot of people making memes about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
What?
I'm going to sing you this. It looks like the sniper saw the shooter and flinched.
Yeah, is that the same one? But
this
is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, it's like the
just
one we
tagged-
saw earlier,
yeah,
but
I
it's a
just
lot
tagged
more
Kevin.
zoomed in.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to
Watch the guy on his knees right there. He flinches.
what happened. You know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guarantee you everybody who was there is going through their footage right now. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's insane.
But to me, I'm watching it. It looks like he lowered his rifle. It doesn't look like he put a shot off.
I don't know. I mean, it
looks like he back his tripod at the very end.
Let's watch right here.
So he dips the barrel. Then it looks like he pulls the tripod back.
It looks like, okay, so if we take this really slowly here, we can see it looks like he sees something.
Yeah.
So this is how he is most of the time. It looks like he's looking down scope.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picks his head up
Mm-hmm.
almost like right there. He picks his head up. It's like, am I really
Did-
seeing that? Is something really there?
Yeah.
And then
Like he's confirming.
then
What happened.
At right around 9 seconds is when the shot, and that's when he picked his head up. So, and then right there is the shot. He looks back down.
Yeah, and it looks like he pulled. Like it doesn't look to me like he's aiming and shooting.
It could
then-
be. It could be that he gets a shot off, and it's
The video delayed.
not even the video delay. That's the initial shot. Right there is the initial shot as he
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
down, and then maybe he gets down and he just shoots. Period.
Well, it could be the other sniper as well, because there's one that's more in
Right
looks
there.
like he's laying down. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's.
I was thinking that the tripod coming back could have been recoil.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking looking at that.
Okay.
It's hard to tell with that angle, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely when he dipped it, I was definitely getting like he was like, "Is that what? Like, do I? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
The
is
fuck?
it just sun reflecting off the thing, or is there someone there?" So he's like, "I'm gonna look."
Yeah.
At 'cause I remember,
Okay.
Yeah. Let me eyeball this. Like what?
right.
So one thing I want to point out too is like, so I had a TikTok that I brought up, or that I made TikTok, like short, whatever, out of a longer live stream. And this is something I talked about soon after the conviction of Trump, is that the conviction of Trump made him the most African-American president that we've ever had. And what I mean by this is that a lot of people in the Black community are able to identify with Trump because he is the whole narrative is, oh, now he's being oppressed by the man. He's being oppressed by the man, which is what the Democrats have pushed at the Black community for so long, is you're being oppressed by the man. And then now he's getting shot at, which, as we know, happens significantly in African-American communities, such as in downtown Chicago, pretty much any urban areas, which will only, I think, and the fact that he lived from it and he's being kind of a badass about it, I think will only spike his numbers with the Black community that much more.
Check out Elon's on this right now. He's really going after him. Kimberly Cheadle.
Yeah, that's what I just saw too, Fabian.
Huh.
I'll
I
pull
just
up
sent that to
Elon's
Kevin.
Twitter.
Yeah. So she apparently worked for PepsiCo before becoming Secret Service director at some point, guarding a bag of Cheetos.
Interesting. Developing risk management assessment and risk mitigation.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that'll come out from this for sure. Investigations.
And when was she sworn in? 2022.
Yep.
I mean, I hate to say that word, but DEI.
That's crazy, man.
It's
Yeah.
right in the middle of the DEI hires.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dang. Interesting. I think that's, yeah, what we already saw there.
Libs of TikTok showing an enraged leftist having a meltdown because the shooter missed.
Of course.
It was like the it's kind of like the reaction to Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying. It was one of those TikToks.
Oh yeah. Could you shoot him a little longer, Ruth?
God, he's still alive. Oh my god.
Like the amount of, or I guess just like the lack of empathy is so. I don't want to say it's shocking because I do see it a lot. I see it a lot with just like with kids now, like they just have no empathy for anything.
Yeah, zero.
And I just it doesn't shock me that there's a lot of people how they're being just having no empathy and they're so caught up in their own little feelings that like, oh my god, my feelings are most important. So like, this guy makes me mad. So clearly him not dying, it affects me, is so good. It's like, no, like get out of that point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. We can take a look at this, everybody. Let's react to this together. And then it seems like we'll have a significant number. I see, Fabian, you also might have just sent me RFK Jr.'s response? Is it something different, or is it just his blanket response? Because we covered.
He was on Newsmax, or was it? I believe
Okay.
it was Newsmax.
Let's cover
Sorry, News
this.
Nation.
Let's cover this Libs of TikTok, and then we'll cover the News Nation thing. And then I'm going to be out because
Yeah,
it's going
I
on
gotta-
2.5 hours right now. But let's cover these two things real quick.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah! I just found.
This is a real person. And also the racism that comes in that there's a white man.
The white guy shot him.
I don't know, but is that also kind of a slight at other races too?
It would have been a black guy who would have shot him.
Also,
easily
to point out the obvious, don't they say that it's white men committing mass shootings? So they're good at shooting.
Not to mention the most deadly sniper in American history, who was Chris Kyle, was a straight white guy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's true.
How racist! I'm offended that I wouldn't have been able to shoot the president. Okay.
So interesting.
Cool.
That's a real person. That's actually
Racism.
not to mention that her dye job is fucking terrible.
She has taken down the video.
Of course she has. Because people were like, hey, the Secret Service are about to knock on your door.
Probably. Are we going to watch this? I see there's a lot. Was there a specific clip? This is a 12-minute video, Fabian. Was there a specific part of it or anything that you thought?
No, I actually haven't seen it yet. It just came out.
It's 12 minutes long. He has a full
we
interview
can
with
skip
News
it.
Nation. I think maybe this could be something that I might cover on my show tomorrow. We'll talk about, I'll talk a little bit about other things. Fabian, if you want to join me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kev, I'm sending a meme I just saw.
You can send me a meme you just saw, but we're at 2.5 hours right now, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody who did join at some point. Thank you to the panel, Josh, Gentry, Ryan, Fabian. Thank you all. Everybody, make sure to go, obviously, like my stuff, subscribe to my stuff, wherever you're watching from. Make sure to check out Breakaway USA. All you got to do is Google that, Breakaway USA, and you'll be able to find pretty much all of our platforms. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless President Trump. And we'll keep covering this on all of our platforms. Until next time, you've been watching Speechless with Breakaway USA.